Should you start a YouTube channel in 2025? Now, this video is in no way trying to scare you from starting a YouTube channel. I definitely actually would love for you to start a YouTube channel, but I think that it's important to kind of know what you're getting into. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people who decide to start a YouTube channel, they don't quite understand everything that goes into it. So today I'm going to give you some reasons why you maybe shouldn't start a YouTube channel. Once you get to the end of this video, I definitely want you to ask yourself whether or not this is doable, because hey, when you get to the end of what I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to lay on you, you might decide that, hey, you know what, this is challenging, but I'm definitely moving forward. Or you might say to yourself, maybe I might, go a different route, whether it be, Instagram or TikTok or some other social media platform first, and try your luck there before you move into sort of long form YouTube videos here on YouTube. One of the first reasons why you may not want to start a YouTube channel in 2025 is purely because of the time commitment. When it comes down to making videos on YouTube, there is a tremendous time suck. You spend a lot of time actually brainstorming and creating ideas for videos, actually filming the videos, editing the videos, you kind of going through it, combing through it, and also uploading the video as well. Now, this doesn't really sound so bad on the surface, but if you're somebody that has a full-time job, if you have a lot of family obligations or other responsibilities, then maintaining a channel can be very demanding and a little bit overwhelming depending on kind of how your life is pushing and pulling you. This is something that as a new YouTuber, you're going to find out very, very quickly that it's going to take a lot of time away from whatever it is that you're typically doing. It's going to require a lot of dedication, right? To put this kind of time and effort into it. One of the other pieces when it comes down to the time commitment piece is making sure that your family or significant other understands what it is that you're embarking on. Like, I would definitely recommend that if you decide to start a channel this year, that you talk to your family members about it, you talk to your spouse about it, you talk to them about the amount of time that you might require after you kind of figure out kind of what that might look like. Make sure you communicate that with them, because the worst thing that you can do is not communicate that, and then your spouse feels like you're not spending time with them, you're not spending time with the kids, you're slacking on some, other responsibilities around the house or outside of the home. And that's not something that you want. You want it to be a positive experience for yourself and also everyone in your household as well. Okay, so the second reason why you probably don't want to start a YouTube channel in 2025 is purely because of the financial investment. When it comes down to YouTube, you can definitely run a YouTube channel, a low cost YouTube channel. That is something you can definitely do. I still stand by that. The fact that you can just use your cell phone, for instance, you can for sure do that. But as time goes on and you want to step up the quality or maintain a certain level of quality for your channel, you're going to have to invest in gear, and you know me, I love gear. If you haven't watched this channel, I love gear. Okay. But I'm not saying that you got to buy all the gear, but you probably are going to spend money on gear that maybe you didn't expect, right? Because if it's not something that's on your radar, it's going to be a bit of a surprise. Now, you don't have to shell out thousands and thousands of dollars, but you might have to shell out a little bit of money to get the quality to where you want it to be. One of the first places, for instance, you might spend your money might be microphones, right? It could be a wireless system or something like that. Just some kind of audio that's going to really level up the way that your video sounds. Because when it comes down to video quality for videos here on YouTube, somebody will watch your video if it has great audio and not so great visuals, but they will not watch your video if it has great visuals but terrible audio. So keep that in mind. Now, the next thing that I think that as a new YouTuber in 2025, you have to be wary of if you're going to start a channel is the fact that there are some markets that are a bit oversaturated at the moment, right? And like I said, as more and more people kind of get on the YouTube train, the market becomes a bit more saturated. And that doesn't mean that it's impossible for you to stand out from the crowd. It doesn't mean that you can't be successful on YouTube, because I believe that a lot of you guys can. But what it does mean is that there's just a lot more competition out there in particular niches out there, depending on what it is that you choose to stick with. just be wary of that and just be cognizant of the fact that it could be a saturated market that you're entering, which means that it might take you a lot longer to gain traction and to build that community on YouTube than you might think or anticipate from the very beginning. And so that kind of brings me into the next reason why maybe you don't want to start a YouTube channel this year. And that next reason is because it's going to take a lot of patience, and it's also going to take a lot of dedication and consistency on your part. So building an audience on social media, it takes time. Building an audience on YouTube can take quite a while. It can take months. It can take even years for some people to gain the amount of traction that they desire when they're putting out their content. And I bring up this reason because a lot of people start a YouTube channel, and kind of like everything else in our life, they are expecting instant gratification. Now, when it comes down to instant gratification, it's amazing when it comes down to when you post something on Instagram, you start getting likes right away, or you start getting feedback, or instant gratification when you order something on Amazon and it comes the very next day. I mean, that's pretty instant. But when it comes down to YouTube, it's very different, and you just have to be prepared for that. And like I said, when it comes down to being dedicated, you have to just keep making those videos and be consistent, knowing that it could take a while. Now, you could be one of those people who makes amazing videos and there's something unique and special about you and you just kind of blow up. That's definitely possible, but I would not bet on that happening. Not to discourage, but I just think that the odds may not be in your favor when it comes down to that. So just be cautious and be aware of that. So the next thing that you might want to be mindful of is the changes in the algorithm. Now, when it comes down to YouTube, one of the things I have noticed is that lately they have been pushing smaller creators. That can be great for you. But one of the other things is that can happen over time is that the algorithm shifts and it changes, and they start pushing this thing or then that thing, and things kind of switch up. And so you have to be aware of these changes to the algorithm. So you have to pay attention. You have to become educated about YouTube. You need to stay abreast of what's happening with YouTube so that you can go along with whatever it is that the algorithm is pushing at that particular time, so that you can stay relevant and continue to grow your channel. Now, I don't think that the changes that YouTube makes are usually like really huge, crazy, drastic changes, but sometimes the changes that they make can benefit you if you are aware of them. And if you don't, it's something that you're just not taking advantage of. That's basically leaving something on the table that you could easily, obtain. Now, the next one I'm going to talk to you guys about is very, very real. It's something that can happen to anybody. And it's actually something that happened recently to Matt D'Avella here on YouTube as well, but it's called burnout. And, burnout on YouTube is very, very real. It's something that happens to a lot of us. And, you have to be, again, aware of it. The constant pressure to produce content here on YouTube can become overwhelming, because you have to brainstorm the ideas, you have to shoot the video, you have to edit the video, you have to create the thumbnail, you have to do the tags, you have to push it out, and then you want to be in the comments. Like, that is a lot of pressure. And if you fall behind for some reason, if you are on a once every week or 2 videos a week schedule, 3 videos a week, that's a lot of pressure that you can kind of put on yourself, especially depending on, we talked about earlier, like the other responsibilities that you have. So it's something that you definitely want to be mindful of, because it's a very real thing. This is even more of a problem if you are not passionate about whatever it is that you're talking about. If you cannot confidently sit down in front of a camera and talk to it for, I don't know, let's just call it 100 or 200 hours, if you cannot do that passionately, and I'm not talking about straight, but over time, if that's not something that you are capable of, then you probably should find a different niche. And that's probably going to serve you a lot better than whatever it is that you're talking about. So always keep that in mind, because burnout, like I said, is very real. And what is the point of getting started with YouTube if it's not something that you're going to be in for the long haul? So this brings me to the next reason why it might not be a good idea for you. I don't know. And that is the fact that there are internet trolls out there, okay? Period. They're internet trolls. We see them everywhere. And then also negative comments. So you got the trolls, and then you also have people that are just putting out negative comments, right? There's somebody that's talking about your hair. They don't like your outfit. The photo that you posted is whack. You didn't do the correct white balance, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. And those people are out there. And this is something that you have to, and again, I'm not going to say it's something that overnight it's going to come together for you, but you have to be mentally tough when it comes down to that, because, you know, there are going to be comments that are going to be kind of mean. They're going to be kind of mean, and you have to know how to handle that, right? You can't go to bed thinking about the comments, right? You can't have the comments leaving you, like, you know, keeping you up at night. It's just, you just don't want to have that. So you have to find a way to not internalize that feedback. If it is constructive feedback, even if it's a little bit mean, then maybe that's something that you can consider. But overall, it's something that you're going to have to deal with over time, because there will be mean comments. Personally, on this channel, I've been very lucky. I haven't had that many mean comments. My other channel, there was always somebody that had something to say about something, but never really like very mean. But maybe I'm lucky, you know, but it could happen to you. I've seen it. I've been on YouTube for a while. I scroll the comments. I see, you see it too. So just be mindful of that, because if you can't handle it, that can be something that might, you know, hold you back from putting out content on a consistent basis. Now, another reason why you may not want to start a YouTube channel in 2025 is because you are not willing to learn and grow. Starting a YouTube channel is definitely a journey, and it's definitely going to make you have to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about editing video, about sound, about video, about lighting. You're going to learn so many different things, and you're going to have to use all of that to be successful, to produce quality content, to produce content that people actually want to watch. Anybody can make a video, but you have to make content that people want to watch. People want to listen to a video. They want to watch a video that captivates them, that is interesting, that, you know, you're passionate about. They can feel it. Like, that is what people are looking for, and you have to give that to them. So if you're not willing to stretch yourself and to grow, don't even start. Don't even start, because it's not going to turn out right. It's just not. So, hey, it is what it is. Another reason is simply that there are so many trends that are constantly changing every single week, month, year on YouTube. There are tons of trends. And, you know, honestly, that's going to require you to adapt. You're going to have to change kind of how you make your videos, the format, the trends in your particular niche are going to change over time. You have to be able to adapt so that you can remain relevant in the space that you're in. Constantly evolving over time can be very exhausting for somebody who is just not used to that, or somebody who's not used to experimenting as well. So if that's you, hey, give this a second thought. You know, think about this. You think this through. You know, like, are you? This is what you want to do? You know, this is what you want to do. Okay. And the last reason why you might not want to start a YouTube channel in 2025 is because you have unrealistic expectations. Yes, I'm talking to you. I'm just playing. Yes, unrealistic expectations. When it comes down to creating a YouTube channel, a lot of people enter this space with an ulterior motive. They want to start making YouTube videos so that they can get famous, get rich, make a lot of money, and just be successful overnight. That is something that I see a lot of people, start talking about. They fantasize about it. They dream about it. It's something that they live and breathe. But if you get into this YouTube game thinking that you're going to get famous overnight, thinking that you're going to blow up in a week, thinking that you're going to blow up in 6 months and become super famous and make a lot of money, you could be very, very disappointed. Now, again, I will say you can be one of the lucky few out there where that does happen. And, you can say to yourself, well, if there's a chance, I'm going to try. And you know what? I'm not mad at you for that. But I want you to be aware that, hey, if you get into this for the wrong reasons, it's probably not going to work out for you. I think that if you decide to start a YouTube channel, it's something that you want to be passionate about. You want to really enjoy it. You want to enjoy the process, the videos. You want to enjoy the brainstorming portion of it. You want to enjoy everything about the YouTube channel that you're creating, because this is something that you're probably going to be doing for years in the future. If you can become and stay consistent making videos here on YouTube, again, you can do this for years and years and years in the future. And realistically, it takes YouTubers several years to build up a community, to build up viewership, to get to the kind of levels that you know, people are dreaming about, right? Going full time, becoming a YouTuber full time. That's something that a lot of YouTubers aspire to, but it's not something that many are able to achieve. And you have to level set yourself and go into this not with that expectation, but you know, if it happens, it's going to be great, but don't go into it just thinking that's the reason. Don't quit your job tomorrow, you know, thinking that you're going to do this full time and start making money, because it's probably not going to go that way for you. So you have to be mindful of that. So I've said a lot. I've shared with you about 10 different reasons why maybe starting a YouTube channel is not for you. If you've gotten to this point in the video and you've heard what I said and you feel like, you know what, I think that I can actually do this. I think I can do this. You know, I'm cool with not getting burnt out. I'm not going to let these haters, you know, troll me and affect my mental health. Like, you know, I got this. Like, if you feel like that, I definitely think that you should start a YouTube channel. You should start it right now. I really believe that. But again, I wanted to kind of put this out there because I feel like a lot of people are starting to start creating YouTube channels, but they're not thinking it all the way through. And it's not their fault. It's just that they don't know what goes into it. So hopefully you learned a little bit about what it's like to be a YouTuber from this video. If you have any questions, definitely leave those in the comments below. If you like the video, hit the like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one. This channel covers photography, videography, YouTube, gear, all that kind of stuff. So if that's something that you're into, definitely subscribe. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.